Hello.
Hello.
Let me change something here. Welcome to the Marin Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions being hosted, so feel free to sign up for any additional sessions. The presentation is also being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I would like to turn it over to our presentation from Soka University of America.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea Duggar, and I'm one of the admission counselors at Soka University of America. I'm very happy to talk with you all tonight. This is our university. We are a small private liberal arts college in Southern California. We're on 100 acres of beautiful land, and just over the hill is Laguna Beach. So we're 3 miles inland of the water on the edge of a nice suburban community. The mission of Soka University of America is to foster a steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life. This was given to us by our founder with the very strong intention for us to each live out and create value in our lives. Soka is actually a translation of the concept value creation from Japanese. Key facts: we're in the suburban community of Aliso Viejo. We have 450 students, which definitely defines our student body. 40% of our students are international, coming from 30 different countries. So there's tremendous cultural diversity at Soka. We're a fully residential campus. So students live on campus all 4 years with really nice dorms. We offer a singular major, the BA in liberal arts, with 5 concentrations. We have a really exciting study abroad requirement, a capstone research project, a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so very high touch education. And our average class size is 12. So we use a discussion dialogue-based Socratic seminar style. We compete with NAI athletics, and we offer generous merit and need-based financial aid. This is our brand new Marin Pierre Curie Hall, which we're really excited for our life sciences concentration. The general education at Soka focuses on bridging Eastern and Western philosophies. We are non-sectarian, but we focus on the Buddhist principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life. I love the map that you can see at the top in the middle of Founders Hall, because it really exemplifies just looking at the world from a different perspective, which is highlighted at Soka. One of our requirements for all students to graduate is that they study abroad for a full semester. The city that they choose is based on their foreign language, either Spanish, Japanese, French, or Mandarin Chinese. You can start never having studied before or continue on at intermediate level. And the best part of Soka's study abroad is it's built into tuition. We have 5 concentrations in environmental studies, humanities, international studies, life sciences, and social behavioral sciences. The best part of them being concentrations is that they're not preset list of classes in order to have that concentration. Students get to decide which combination of classes to make up their education. And you come in undecided, so you have time to figure it out. And this is a map of one of our first year double rooms. Each room will always have a private bathroom for you and your roommate, which is nice. Soka has a full-time mental health counselor because we really value self-care. We have a health center on campus, a really nice meal plan through our bistro. Plus, we have lots of student clubs and activities, so Soka truly becomes your home, whether you're involved with a club, an affinity group, get involved with leadership as a student orientation leader, as resident assistant, get work experience through on-campus employment, do service engagement, or take advantage of our Soka Performing Arts Center and art gallery, which is really cool. These are some sample posters. Soka really focuses on programming around identities, really celebrating and exploring those within our campus community, community building through fun things like Friendsgiving or sushi, as well as life skills. So learning how to change a tire, learning financial literacy, how to navigate the US credit system. We compete in NAI athletics for men and women's soccer, cross country, track and field, swimming, and women's golf. Most of our athletes are competitive, but we do take walk-ons to the point where almost a quarter of our student body participates in college athletics, which is really exciting. Our admission process is now open for fall 2021. Our early action deadline is November 1st. It is non-binding. Our regular decision deadline is January 15th. All application checklist items must be in office to make the deadline. We are on the Common App. We take a fee waiver, or it's $30 application fee. And for this year, we will be test optional. Our financial aid goes all the way up to the cost of attendance so tuition is about $32,000 and our room and board is $13,000. For students whose families earn under $60,000, the Soka Opportunity Grant will cover the full cost of tuition. For families who make more than that, it's a sliding scale. So 89% of our students last year qualified for need-based aid. Our room and board is $13,000. It's very inclusive. It's a full meal plan. It includes parking, printing. All of our students get a laptop when they come to Soka, so they have technological equity across the student body. And that is often met, the cost of that, through merit scholarships. We offer up to $15,000, which are renewed all 4 years, through athletic scholarships. And then most of our students are borrowing, but far below the national average. So last year, 98% of our students received financial aid, totaling about $14 million for 450 students. So we're very much committed to an affordable education. We're really proud of that because we really want every student to have that opportunity. We are a team of 6. My name again is Chelsea. I help the students from Marin County apply. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at cduggar@soka.edu. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. And our next presenter will be the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I just want to remind everyone that if you have questions, to please drop them in the Q&A. And if you have specific questions to a presenter, please add the name of the institution to the question so they can address it. Thank you, and I'll pass it on to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alex Petrolia. I'm super excited to be with you guys today. I am an admission counselor for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. You may have heard of us before, or Las Vegas at least, on TV or in movies. As you can see up on the screen, University of Nevada of Las Vegas, we're pretty central as far as location. If you've ever flown into Las Vegas, we're about 2 miles away from McCarran Airport and about 1.5 miles off the Las Vegas Strip. We are most well known for our diversity at UNLV. We're one of the most diverse campuses in the nation. It's something that we take a lot of pride in. As you can see up on the screen, we have students coming from about 83 different countries. The bigger the red dot, the more students we have coming from that particular country. Similarly, we have students coming from every single one of the states here in the United States as well. We're a pretty big institution, so we have about 30,000 students attending UNLV, but we're a 21-to-1 ratio as far as students to faculty. So once you get within your chosen major, those class sizes are pretty small. We have over 300 different undergraduate and graduate degree programs. One of our most notable programs is hospitality. Being in Las Vegas, you could imagine you have a lot of access to the industry. Our hospitality program is actually ranked #1 in the country. So we see a lot of our students who are coming internationally and nationally specifically for that program. We have a number of notable programs as well. Business has a dual accreditation with the AASCB. We have 3 professional schools. So we have the only dental and law school in the state of Nevada. Our law school is top 60 in the nation, and we have the #1 legal writing program. We also have a medical school as well. I always really like to emphasize to students that we have an exploring major. So you don't have to have it all figured out when you get to college. You can come in and not know what you want to major in. The exploring major pairs you up with an academic advisor that is well-versed in all of the majors and really talks you through what you're passionate about and matching you up with a major and talking through what majors equal what career paths as well. One of our biggest traditions at UNLV is Premiere. It is a huge kickoff to the year. All of our clubs and organizations are there. It's just a really, really fun event to kick off the academic year. We have over 400 different clubs and organizations at UNLV. Anything as far as Greek life. So we have all 4 councils of Greek life, sororities, fraternities. We have academic societies and groups. We also have special interest groups as well. Those are my favorite to highlight because I think they're fun. the Pizza Enthusiast Clubs, and they are funded to try all the different pizza across the Las Vegas Valley and argue which ones are better. Generally, I usually have people boo me off stage when I say pineapple should be on pizza, but this is a virtual event, so you can't boo me, so that's exciting. Also, I think my other favorite one is the Lightsaber Duelist Society. So if you're into Star Wars, they have about 90 active members on campus, so they have a pretty big presence. One other thing I really like as well is that if you find none of those clubs or organizations are quite fitting what you're looking for, you can start your own legacy at UNLV. We are a Division I institution, so we do compete in the Mountain West Conference. One of the most exciting things to happen recently is that we've gotten the Raiders in Las Vegas. So our football team will be playing in Raider Stadium, and students get free tickets to any home games. The one thing that I want to emphasize on this one is renowned research. We are an R1 institution. An R1 designation is a prestigious research designation that pretty much means a lot of research is happening at our institution. And you as a student get to get involved in that research very early on. We are also very internship focused as well. So the majority of our academic curriculum requires that you do an internship. Being that we are in Las Vegas, we're in a large metropolitan city. We're the only major four-year institution. So our students really have the ability to get connected and have multiple internships and professional opportunities within their undergraduate degree program. This is my favorite slide to talk about. It is what is there to do in Las Vegas? The easiest way to answer that is a lot. Traditionally, people think of that mile-long strip that you see on TV and movies. We are much more than that. We have nature opportunities. So that top left corner is Red Rock National Park. Really great place to go and hike, biking trails, rock climbing as well. We don't get snow down here in the valley, but about 45 minutes away at Mount Charleston, there is a ski resort. So if you like accessing those winter sports, that's something that you can do fairly easily. And we're also the cultural and music festival capital of the world. So if you enjoy music, we actually have the most amount of concerts put on per resident capita. I know that's something historically that our students have really, really enjoyed. Last thing I'm going to talk about is admission requirements. So we're ultimately looking for you to meet one of three requirements in order to be admissible as a first-year student. We are test optional, so basically just that 3.0 weighted core GPA or those test score requirements. We are part of WUI. We're very WUI friendly. So if you are looking to come to Las Vegas, we're looking for one of three things in order for you to be WUI eligible. That brings you down to that 12,000, 3.25 unweighted cumulative GPA. All right, that is all for me. Super excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me. And just go ahead and contact us if you have any questions.
Great, thank you so much. Our next institution that you'll hear from is the University of San Diego. Again, just want to remind everyone that if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A. The representatives are here to answer any questions you may have, and it can be to any institution, whether they're presenting or on deck to present. So I'll hand it over to University of San Diego.
Great. Well, thank you so much. My name is Scott Yanner. I'm one of the admission counselors at the University of San Diego. More importantly, I oversee the Marin County area. So if any of you seniors will be applying, I will be the one that'll be reading your application. A little bit about the University of San Diego. So we were founded in 1949. There was a men's college, a women's college, a law school. 72, they started merging them all together to form now what we know as USD. About 40% of our students identify with the Catholic tradition of faith. The remainder of our students either identify with a different faith tradition or no faith tradition at all. So the only religious requirement we have at USD is one lower division, one upper division religious theology study. That lower division will tie in like a Catholic history component. Upper division you can take from any of our catalogs. So I have a daughter who's a current senior at the University of San Diego. Last year when she did her study abroad in Ireland, she actually took Buddhism as her upper division. As well, we don't require students to be a part of the campus ministry, nor do we require them to be to go to Mass, but we do leave it up to you. If it's something you're looking for, we have an amazing campus ministry. But we do believe at USD that your spirituality pathway is just that. It's yours for you to decide, so you won't feel any unnecessary pressure from the university as well. So we're a mid-sized institution, about 5,900 undergraduates, 2,900 graduate and law students on campus. About 38% of our students do identify as being students of color with the incoming class of 2020. About 41.8% of our students identified as being students of color. We are the sixth most beautiful campus in the nation. So we were just ranked at this last year. We're always ranked highly year in and year out. And that's because if you walk onto our campus, you will definitely realize just how awe-inspiring it is. Mother Rosalie Hill is one of our founding party members, really believed in beauty, truth, and goodness. She really felt like beauty would draw people to the school, allow them to really seek the goodness, to seek the truth, resulting in goodness in their lives. And so we've really held to those three virtues ever since. We do offer 42 majors. The way USD works is that regardless of the intended major you put on your application, everybody comes in undeclared, and you have up until your fourth semester to declare your major, double major, major minor, or whatever you sort of personalize your learning major to be able to graduate in 4 years as well. So there's none of our, I apologize, none of our majors are impacted, so you're guaranteed to get the coursework to graduate in 4 years. The only exception to that is our engineering program, and that is by design a 4.5-year long program, and that is because our students will actually graduate with both a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science. So they actually get a dual degree. Our engineering program is ranked 13th in the nation. We also have great pre-professional advising. So if you're looking to do pre-med, pre-law, pre-dental, pre-health, pre-veterinarian, this is a pathway that will give you an additional advisor that will work with you over the course of the next 4 years, just to make sure you meet all the prerequisites needed to be able to apply to graduate school. From the prerequisites to undergrad research opportunities, to internship opportunities, to global perspective by hopefully taking advantage of one of our study abroad opportunities, to preparing for your MCAT, your DAT, your LSAT, your GRE, whatever test that you've got to take prior to your senior year. As well, I can't speak enough about our faculty. We have an amazing faculty that really do advocate for our students' success. Our average class size is 22, and we cap all of our courses at 40. With our courses, all of our courses are taught by professors. All of our professors have weekly office hours, so it's super accessible for our students as well. Additionally, we are also the youngest private institution in the top 100, so we feel very proud of that distinction as well. With student research, we have student research opportunity for all of our majors, but if you are a physical or life science major, you're guaranteed a minimum of 100 hours of undergrad research. This is done with the lead professor. And if that research is published, then our students are co-published with that as well. So if you are in that pre-med, pre-dental, pre-health pathway, it really does allow our students to be even more competitive when applying to graduate school. We have an amazing honors program. And then with our first year experience, we do require students to live on campus for the first 2 years. First year is traditional dorm style. Second will be apartment style. It'll be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 4 students, living room, kitchen, dining. You get to pick your roommate, you get to pick your suite mates. As well, you get to pick the location of your apartment on our campus. When it comes to Torero Life, we have over 180 clubs and organizations. We have 17 Division I athletic programs. We are part of the West Coast Conference, Division I, and then our football team is part of the Pioneer League, as well as Division I. We have 9 sororities, 9 fraternities, 65 plus honor professional societies, 30 plus multicultural organizations as well. We are also consistently ranked in the nation with our study abroad. We have 80 programs in 30 different countries. We opened up a USC campus in Madrid, Spain, which is an incredibly popular destination for our students as well. We are Common App exclusive, regular decision, December 15th. Last year, we gave admissions to about 57%. We'll be looking at your transcripts. There'll be a couple of member questions on the application, your personal essay, 1 letter of recommendation, and then when it comes to test scores this year, we are actually test blind. So this year we will not take test scores into consideration whatsoever. Moving forward, at the very least, we will be test optional when it comes to that. There's also an application fee of $55. If this is a hardship, all you need to do is just reach out to your counselor, have them shoot me an email. We are more than happy to give a fee waiver, or if you've already received the WACAC fee waiver or the ACT fee waiver, we'll honor those as well. And finally, when it comes to merit scholarships, we do offer merit. Top 40% of admitted students based upon academic achievement, change maker qualities, and personal qualities will automatically receive merit. Last year, that ranged from $18,000 to $25,000. That amounts per year, providing well at USD. You maintain a 3.0 GPA. As well, if you have any questions, here is my contact information. please feel free to write it down. I won't be able to chat it out, but feel free to write it down. And then as well with the QR code, if you have your camera, pull up the phone function, you can go ahead and hold that over that and fill it out, and that'll let us know that you are part of this fair. I want to say thank you so much for your attention. I wish you guys the best, and have a great rest of your night.
Great, thank you. The next presenter we have is London Metropolitan University.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Gotting, and I am the United States representative for London Metropolitan University. So, sorry, I'm just getting my slides going here. I am kind of one of the out-of-the-box representatives in this group tonight because my university is overseas. So I'll give you a few quick bullet points on some of the pros to considering international universities. And before I get started, I actually wanted to introduce my colleague Jadon because he is based in California. He just started with us in London a few weeks ago. So I'm going to do the presentation tonight. But if you were interested in learning more about us or applying, Jadon would be your point of contact. So if you just want to say hello, Jadon, to everyone.
Yes, hello everyone. Again, my name is Jadon Joyner, and I'm one of the international officers for London Metropolitan. And so anything west of the Mississippi is going to be my territory. So I'm really excited to work with all of you all, and I'm going to turn it back over to Megan so you all can learn a little bit more about London Met.
Great, thanks, Jadon. And you're lucky being in California because Jadon is actually in LA, so he is local to you. And when we're all on the road again, he might even be able to visit you in person. But again, like I said, we've seen some great universities tonight that are based in the United States. A lot of them talked about their study abroad programs, which is such an awesome thing to do. So if you go to a US institution, I definitely recommend looking into the study abroad options they've spoken about. I'm going to speak a little bit more about actually doing your full bachelor's degree at an international university. But our university, London Met, if you're interested in us, we do short-term semester study abroad programs for US students. So you can get in touch with us about that if you went to one of these US universities but wanted to come spend a semester with us at London Met. But I am, like I said, going to talk about bachelor's degrees there. So again, here's the contact information for myself and for Jadon. More importantly, Jadon, because he would be the one helping you through the application process if you were interested. I'm actually based on the East Coast and represent more of the East Coast of the United States. And so he is based in LA. There's our contact information. As a quick overview to London Metropolitan University, we are right in the heart of central London, England, in the UK. And we have two campuses, which I'll speak about briefly. One is kind of our right brain and the other is our left brain campus. So we have a real fusion of programs on offer, and you can get in touch with us to get a full list of majors. Although they will not call them majors in the UK, they will be called your course. So you have to get used to the American English kind of translation between our academic terms. We are a medium-sized school. We have about 10,000 students. About 7,500 students are undergraduates. So about 75% of our students are getting their bachelor's degree with us. And we are really proud to represent 147 nationalities from around the world within our student body, faculty, and staff. So you really get a global experience, and you really become the ambassador if you're coming from the United States for not only your hometown, your home state, but really your home country. And that is a really neat experience. One of the alumni that we're really proud of is the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. So this is him pictured here, and he really promotes coming to London as a city to study. It's usually ranked, if you Google, #1 city in the world for international students to come study. It was ranked this in the QS rankings last year and the year before. I also studied internationally in London, and I ended up doing the post-study work visa and staying there. So I lived there about 7 years, which is why I love to advise students on going from the United States to an overseas destination to study. Jadon also has experience living and working overseas, so that's why we do what we do. Quickly, why students from the US should consider a full degree overseas. In the UK, our bachelor's degrees are actually 3-year programs, and our master's degrees are 1-year program. So it is an accelerated program. It means you do deep dive right into your subject area and don't do that year of general ed, but you could get your master's degree in 4 years. And for most programs, it translates back to United States really well for employers and graduate school. Some of the exceptions are things that have like a state or local licensure, like in law or maybe in teaching, if you really want to be like a elementary school teacher in California. But reach out to Jadon and I about your field of study and what you're interested in, and most of the time it translates really well back on your resume. Often we are cheaper than out-of-state and private options. So again, in-state options and community college options are really, really great options financially for US students, but sometimes it can become quite unaffordable when you're looking at out-of-state or private options, but international universities can be a lot more affordable. So our current tuition fees for the full academic year right now is about 16 to 18,000 US dollars. And then you have to account for cost of living, accommodation, flights back and forth. So I always tell US students to budget about $35,000 per year for your whole kit and caboodle of degree and life. We offer international student scholarships to students coming from the United States that we could speak to you more about. And you are able to apply for US financial aid through FAFSA, just like you're going to a domestic university, and that transfers over to us and gets converted to Great British pounds. We have rolling admissions and no application fee, and that's true of a lot of the UK universities. We have a start date in September and January if you want to take some time off. You can work part-time by being an international student, so you can get international work experience for your resume. The UK government offers a post-study work visa, so you can stay after your degree and work in the country for 2 years. And there's long breaks in the summer and holiday time if you want to go back to California. This is just a cool aerial view from one of our campuses. You get the whole skyscraper of London. I quickly wanted to buzz through what we have available on our 2 campuses. Our Holloway Road campus is very much our business, IT, and sciences campus. So we have a lot of American students studying social sciences like psychology and international relations. We have a natural sciences programs that study in our super lab, which is one of the largest in Europe. And then our arts campus is at Aldgate, and this is for students in looking for our School of Art, Architecture, and Design. So fashion, jewelry, textiles, creative writing. So please get in touch with Jadon and myself. I'm gonna, buzz through these slides quickly, and I could revisit this with you if you're interested in studying at London Met. And here's our contact details again, and we can let you know a full list of our majors. And thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you. And the next that you will hear from is UC Berkeley International Dual Degree and Summer Programs. Again, any questions that you have for our presenters, please drop them in the Q&A, and they're here to answer your questions. And now hand it over to UC Berkeley.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Amber Dillon and I manage the dual degree programs we have with UC Berkeley. I'm representing summer sessions in our international program. So I'm actually going to talk about like 4 or 5 programs very, very briefly today, since I only have about 6 minutes. Okay. So the programs that we offer through Berkeley that I'm going to be talking about is our pre-college scholars program for high school students, our Global Edge London program, so another London program, our freshman and transfer edge programs, and then our dual degree programs we have with Sciences Po in France and the University of Hong Kong in Hong Kong. So what is the pre-college scholars program? So this is specifically for high school students. So if you are a high schooler not ready to apply to college, this would be a great option for you. You get to gain a glimpse of academic life and major and coursework at a university. So you take courses at UC Berkeley with regular UC Berkeley in summer sessions and get UC credits. You get to earn college credit from renowned instructors. You get to, could take some courses if you're interested in computer science, get to see what that might be like at a college campus. There's going to be 3 tracks this summer. The commuter track, which would mean if you live in Marin, you can just kind of drive over and take courses. A virtual track, so everything can be offered online and you can take courses remotely, or residential track if you want to live on campus in the dorms and kind of meet people and have that college experience. To be eligible for this program, you need to be 16 years of age by start, complete 2 years of high school, and have a 3.0 GPA. And if you're interested, you can visit that website for the pre-college program. The Freshman and Transfer Edge program would be for if you're a student that's getting admitted to the University of California, Berkeley, you can actually start early. So this would be a summer start for students that can, you can start courses, get some courses out of the way before you actually start, meet friends, gain a community, develop a campus community, get financial aid, and do workshops available for students that are getting ready to start at Berkeley. There's going to be 3 options for this program as well. So you can do the residential program where you can live on campus. You can commute if you want and then live on campus in the fall, or you can do the virtual experience that we have. So if you are a newly admitted Berkeley student that gets admitted in March and this is an interest for you, you'll just go ahead and choose this in your portal. There's no extra application that you would need to do this type of a program. And now we're going to talk about our international programs. So we have Global Edge, which gives the students the chance to basically study abroad in London your first semester. So you get admitted to UC Berkeley and you'll choose a pathway at time of admission. And this would be one of the pathways that you could choose. You could choose to go to London. So you get an early opportunity to study abroad. A lot of students do this and then go abroad again. You earn Berkeley credit, you fulfill breadth and major requirements. There's a lot of choices that you can choose. A lot of students want to do courses that have to do with arts and humanities, but we also have students interested in math, computer science that can take courses. You get a smaller cohort, so you get about 80 students versus the big cohort. So it kind of gives you the opportunity to get used to being on a big campus within a small campus within a big campus. All financial aid transfers over, and it's a really great way to kind of get that global perspective early and see if that's something that you're interested in and possibly go abroad later. A lot of the students have said that they gain a ton of personal and academic growth by this, by studying abroad early, making friends in their cohort that leads to friends for the next 4 years. So if this is a program that's interesting to you, you need to be a newly admitted freshman in one of 2 colleges. So the College of Letters and Science, which is our largest college, or the College of Natural Resources. You need to be 18 years old by the time of departure and then hold a valid US, UK, or European passport. So that would be the main pieces of that. And if you're interested in this, you can go on the website, but basically at time of admission, you would be able to apply to this program. So the next programs I'm going to talk about is the most intense. So these are our dual degree programs. So we have 2. UC Berkeley offers one with Sciences Po in France and one with the University of Hong Kong. So you would choose, you don't do both, you choose which one you're interested in. And basically you're going to get 2 degrees in 4 years. So you'll get a full degree from the University of California, Berkeley, like you would if you were here for 4 years. And then you'll get a full degree from the partner institution. All courses are taught in English, so you don't need to have any prior knowledge of French or Chinese. If you have it, that's great. This is kind of the study abroad on steroids. So if you want the global expertise and you want that experience, you'll have the full 2 years abroad and the full 2 years at Berkeley. So you kind of get both of that US education and then the abroad education. You get access to 2 alumni and global networks. So UC Berkeley is the #1 public institution in the world. So you'll get that access to the alumni network, and then Sciences Po in Hong Kong are rated extremely high as well. This program allows you to have one-on-one dedicated advising from admission to graduation, which is a huge perk. I know at Berkeley it can be large and intimidating, but this program offers that one-on-one guidance. And then these programs tend to be great for students interested in economics, law, political science, arts, humanities, global studies, international relations, and things of that nature. So in order to apply to the dual degree programs, you're going to complete 2 applications. You're going to complete the University of California regular application and then the supplemental application, which can be found on our website. Both are due by November 30th, which is the regular deadline. And then for Sciences Po, you'll be reviewed early. You get an interview in January if you're selected, and then you'll notified if you're selected after that in mid-February. And then for Hong Kong, it's regular admission in March, and an interview may be required depending on the partner institution. By nature of applying to these programs, you're also applying directly to Berkeley. So it is possible to be admitted to Berkeley and denied to the dual degree, and that wouldn't take away your admission to University of California, Berkeley. So that's kind of a nice perk. So you don't need to be worried about that. So for more information, you can see this website, but I'm also going to link to our websites at the end. So if you have any questions about any of these programs, we're more than happy to answer them. I know I went through very briefly, but if any of them seem interesting to you, please feel free to contact us. Or I can answer questions in the Q&A. I really appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. And our next presentation will be from Verto Education. So please feel free to ask any questions you have and drop those in the Q&A for our presenters. So I'll hand it over to Verto Education.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. And thank you to all the colleges who have just presented some really, really cool options. You guys made me want to go back to when I was in high school and start applying to colleges. And also UNLV, you had me at Pizza Club. So if you need a chairman, let me know. I'm yours. Okay, so again, thanks everybody for coming here. I wish I could see all your faces right now. I know it's a pretty hectic year to say the least. So the fact that you guys are here and being engaged is great. So more power to you. My name is Josh. I work for Verto Education. We're going to talk a little bit about how students with Verto can travel, see the world through different lenses, if that's something you'd like to do, much like all these great universities and people we're talking about. We'll also talk about how Verto kind of is helping students with their college admission and making college more accessible. It's kind of a big thing for us. So a little bit different, bear with me, but let's jump into it. So with Verto, students are spending their first semester of college abroad. We've got a number of different semester locations. The reason we do this freshman year is because we think it's a great launching pad for students to start college with a semester out in a place different than their own, connecting with people who view life differently than they do. I've spent my career in student travel, working with students in India and Tanzania and 12 other countries in Asia. And I'm a huge believer in the power of doing that as early as possible. So we want students to have that experience and use it as a launching pad to pick their classes and major and life path potentially. So we'll quickly look at the different semesters where students can travel. We'll get into that in a second. So we've got 6 locations. I'm not going to talk about Europe too much because Megan and all these other guys did a great job talking about London. Depending on the location students would like to travel with Verto, the experience looks different. So if you're somebody who wants to get out there and really just go to places that are not known to most tourists or just kind of off the beaten path, I'd push you towards Hawaii, Latin America, the South Pacific. If you're someone who's looking for that Europe experience too, we have options there as well. So we're going to go through one example just to kind of get a little bit deeper into the experience. And keep in mind, guys, all of our semesters, students are earning 16 college credits, so it's working towards their graduation. Let's look at the South Pacific. How about that? So this is our semester in the South Pacific. So students are starting in Fiji. They're living in highland villages. So if you're wanting to unplug for a month, which I think everybody probably should, I definitely need to do that. It's a really cool way to do it. You're living with local families. You're studying anthropology. So every single day you're getting up and you're doing ethnographic studies, community surveys, and living as a person from that community would for an entire month. And that's how you're earning your intro to anthropology course. The second month of the semester, you switch over to New Zealand. You study sociology. And we do some really cool work with the Maori groups there. We've looked at things like, geothermal energy and how different communities perceive energy conservation. In the South Pacific, we finished our semester in Australia through a species conservation lens, doing some cool sustainability work with animals with the Australian Zoo in Brisbane. So if you're an animal lover, that's a great semester to be. And again, just incredible places that are really just unknown. One of the communities in Fiji has, I think, the last female chief in the island. So we get to spend some time with those groups. And again, if you're somebody who wants to get out there and kind of keep yourself on that 4-year graduation timeline, this is a great way to do it. One of the other kind of exciting things for students, especially if any of you are seniors, what we've done is partner with about 50 different universities across the country. The way that the college application process through Verto works, I would say think about Verto kind of like the Common App, where you can apply to any of our partner colleges through Verto. It's a free application. We don't have a minimum GPA. We don't require test scores. What's most important to us is getting to know students and understanding why they're doing this and kind of what their hopes and dreams are. And then we can actually send your application off to these universities. What we're seeing and what's really exciting is that we're getting a lot of students into reach schools because our partner colleges especially, much like many of the great schools here tonight, really value students who travel, and they value students who have a global perspective and are kind of adaptable and empathetic and all the things that traveling gives you. You're actually able to receive an advantage admission to some really great universities. So you can apply through Verto to these schools. It's free. You don't have to apply to the school directly. So please get in touch if that's something that excites you. if a student's not looking at a partner college, if they're looking at a different four-year school or even community college, or if you're not even sure if college is the right path for you, it's okay. We'll help you fit Verto into whatever your goals are. So you are not bound to just our partner colleges. So this is kind of what the application looks like. Students can literally just tick off on a box which partner schools they'd like to apply to. It's very similar to the Common App again. Okay, I do want to touch on affordability with Verto as well. That's something that's really important to us, and making sure that this is as accessible as possible. Each of our semesters has a tuition. Included in the tuition is all housing and meals. One thing I like to talk about, and I think that's important for students to know with Verto, is that every single cent of your tuition is going towards your student experience. When you're paying Verto tuition, if you're paying tuition, you're not paying for the, microscope in the new lab that you're never going to step foot in. Those things are really important, but should students pay for all that in their tuition? That's a question we ask ourselves. You guys can use FAFSA. Our starting semester costs are pretty low, and again, they're all including housing and meals. We have a very similar opportunity grant to Soka University. That was cool to hear about that in the beginning. Need-based scholarships are there. We have an honors program for students who are really excited about this and who are passionate about things like climate change and racism and gender inequality. This will be a full year with Verto. And what's the most exciting aspect about this, I think, breezing through these, the tuition structure for honors program, if they're within these income brackets, you can see here, there's actually no tuition for the honors program. So there are opportunities in terms of financial accessibility if you're someone who really just wants to see the world and stay on your four-year timeline. So if that was exciting, I know you guys have phones on you. You might be on them, that's okay, it's late. Scan this code here. You can fill out a form. I'll see your name and email come in, and then I'll reach out for you and we can do one-on-one and talk about your hopes and dreams and all that good stuff. And that is it. I'll wrap it up. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you. And that concludes all of our presentations for this session. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A. Our presenters are here to answer your questions. We just have a couple minutes here that we can take. We've heard from various institutions, so please feel free to answer any questions you may have. Just some additional information that I'd like to share before we conclude this session. When you close your window, you will receive a link to a quick 4-question survey. We'd really we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide on that survey. And also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions throughout the week. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recordings as well as all other sessions that you've attended at the same website where you registered. I see that there is some questions still coming in. Feel free to send in your questions, and if the representatives are not able to answer your questions before we end the session, they will go ahead and communicate with you at a later time as well. So we'll make sure they follow up with you. So feel free to drop any questions you have. Great. Well, I just would like to thank our panelists for the insightful information about their institutions and their programs. And then also thank you for joining us this evening and learning more about these institutions. So thank you for your time and have a great evening.